Good morning. This is Baton Rouge Labor Radio. I'm Michael D. Day, and we're proudly broadcast on WHYR 96.9 FM. This morning I'm going to go over politics all the time, we know, and just want to let everybody know that November the 6th to vote. The deadline to vote in the November 6th election is October the 9th. So, everybody needs to get out there and register to vote and make your voice heard. And there's no other way that you can influence these politicians unless you got a lot of money. So, the Louisiana AFL-CIO, at their annual convention in March of this year, delegates endorsed U.S. Representative Cedric Richmond for re-election in the 2nd Congressional District, and Ron Richard has garnered the endorsement in the election of the Louisiana's 3rd Congressional District. Both are Democrats. For your convenience, this is from the Louisiana AFL-CIO. They've made recommendations on proposed constitutional amendments, and I was going to go over that this morning. We would love to have someone here, Louis Wren or Ernest Stevens from the Louisiana AFL-CIO, to clarify a lot of this. But I'll give it to you as straight as I can. The amendment, this is proposed amendment number 1. This amendment would, now this is going to be on the ballots when you go vote. You know, that big list, you know, just a bunch of stuff on there you got to vote for rather than president and all of that. This amendment, Amendment 1, this is a state amendment, a proposed state amendment. This amendment would protect monies in the Medicaid Trust Fund for the elderly from being appropriated from any other for any other purpose during times of projected deficits. The Louisiana AFL-CIO recommends support for Amendment 1. I think I would recommend it also if you're asking. Proposed amendment number 2. This amendment provides that any restriction on the right to keep and bear arms shall be subject to strict scrutiny, and removes language stating that this right shall not prevent passage of laws to limit the carrying of a concealed weapon. What this saying is, as I read it, this amendment provides that any restriction on the right to keep and bear arms shall be subject to strict scrutiny, and removes language stating that this right shall not prevent passage of laws to limit the carrying of a concealed weapon. This is very confusing and removes language. Well, thank goodness that the Louisiana AFL-CIO takes no position on this. This is not a labor issue. Even though people are getting killed left and right out here, and my personal opinion is there's too many guns on the street of Baton Rouge. Way too many guns. It's too easy to get a gun, and that's not being addressed here or anywhere. I believe in the right to bear arms. I own guns. I don't know. There's a lot of guns out there. People that I talk to that are in some of these neighborhoods, 70805, they'll tell you quick that you can go, you can buy a gun on the street for $20, a handgun. And that kind of tells me that there's just too many guns on the street and they're too easy to get. The gun show loopholes are really providing a lot of these guns. It's when you can go to a gun show and buy an AK or an Uzi without any paperwork, I think that's a problem, you know. But as I've said, I do own guns, and I don't know where you draw the line on this. So, we've got proposed amendment number 3. This amendment changes several provisions relating to how and when the legislation affecting public retirement systems must be filed and publicly noticed. All of our public employee unions opposed this constitutional amendment during the legislative session. We recommend opposition. What this amendment is saying that they need to file. Let's see, this amendment changes several provisions relating to how and when legislation affecting public retirement systems must be filed and publicly noticed. I guess they want early notice. The public employees unions to protect the public employees, the ones that's really taking it over the head. So we'll go to proposed amendment number 4. This amendment allows the surviving spouse of a veteran with a service-connected disability rating of 100% to keep the special additional homestead exemption on a property the spouse owns and occupies. The AFL-CIO recommends this. Sounds like a very good recommendation there. Proposed amendment number 5. This amendment provides for the forfeiture of public retirement benefits by any public servant who is convicted of a felony associated with and committed during his public service. And the AFL-CIO also recommends this amendment. Now, proposed amendment number 6. This amendment allows the city of New Iberia to grant ad valorem tax exemption contracts for property annexed after January 1st, 2013, and the AFL-CIO takes no position on that. The Louisiana AFL-CIO. Proposed amendment number 7 proposes for adjustments to constitutional boards and commissions whose members are based upon congressional districts in the wake of reapportionment by filing vacancies from underrepresented districts. The AFL-CIO recommends support of this amendment. Proposed amendment number 8. This amendment authorizes the granting of ad valorem tax exemption contracts by the Board of Commerce and Industry for certain businesses. For certain businesses. The AFL-CIO is in opposition of this, recommends you vote against amendment number 8. Proposed amendment number 9. This amendment provides additional requirements before the legislature can approve the creation of special districts for the purpose of aiding in crime protection and security by providing for an increased presence of law enforcement and personnel in the district. And the AFL-CIO fully supports that amendment. So, that is the 9 amendments that will be on the ballot November the 6th. And we're going to do a quick wrap on them. And we'll be replaying this show up until the election. So, proposed amendment number 1 which I think is very important, to protect the monies in the Medicaid trust fund for the elderly and being appropriated for any other purpose during times of projected deficits. The AFL-CIO recommends support on that. Support for number 1. Number 2, proposed amendment number 2 on the ballot. The AFL-CIO takes no position. Proposed amendment number 3, the AFL-CIO recommends opposition. This is an anti-union proposal from everything I'm reading. Well, anti-union and anti-public employee proposal. This number 4, proposed amendment number 4, this is the military service-connected disability with 100%, allows a special home exemption, and the AFL-CIO recommends support on proposal number 4. Proposal number 5, the AFL-CIO recommends opposition. Provides for the forfeiture of public retirement benefits of any public service